Okay guys, welcome back. An assembly video on the list today. We got a VEVOR dump trailer. It was on eBay for a decent price, I guess, $200. So we're gonna put it together and eventually we're gonna make electric dump trailer out of it. Comes in this box. Let me get you, in case you want to put it together. It comes in this box. Pretty heavy. I mean, it's a good weight. I'm gonna say maybe 150, but I'm guessing the bottom's in 2 pieces. But it's packaged pretty decent. So I'll get it out. I'll lay parts out, and we'll be right back. I think I'll bring you with me while I open the box a little bit, just so you can see what's in there. Which the tires are actually pretty decent. It looks kind of like. This looks like the bottom piece is going to ride up kind of high because the tires are pretty decent size. I mean, look at this tire. Got bearings. I mean, my only gripe is air-filled tires kind of suck for things like wheelbarrows and stuff because you always got to replace the tubes and things. So we might look for a solid option. I'm going to say, yeah, there's all your bolts. I heard that it's kind of not very good to put together, so I don't know. This bracket seems pretty tough. They give you a set of wrenches. Not too bad. If it's decent metal, we can weld on it. Oh wait, I probably need... Yeah, here's your instructions. This is going to look like... Not sure if I'm putting the sides on it, because this is going to be... I'm going to make an electric dump for my mini excavator where I can haul it behind the lawnmower. Sides are a little thin. I see it's got these like railings for the side. Like I said, I don't know if I'll use these because we will if we're going to haul brush and stuff. And you got a little short one. I'll set them off to the side. This looks like. I mean, that's pretty decent. I mean, it's pretty heavy duty. Not heavy duty, but it's heavier than what you expect. Maybe that's why it's so heavy. That's good though. Ugh, Jesus. Alright, that's the one part which we'll probably do away with. Got some grip tape on it. This is so you can step on it and it releases the trailer and you can dump it. I don't know. I may do away with it or hook a rope to it where we can pull it, then hit the electric actuator. But part don't feel too bad either. Also comes with your pin already for your lawnmower. Again, we're going to set it off to the side. This looks like your main body of it right here. They kind of got it all hooked together. And then, don't know. It's not a whole lot of pieces, honestly. I have heard that you may have to drill holes from some of the comments on eBay, but I don't know. Oh, there's more pieces hidden in here. Some angle brackets and some tubing. And again, if you've seen some of my earlier videos, we did a barbecue grill. It had way more parts than this. So. The comments I heard was the holes didn't line up really. They might have just had it out of square, I don't know. Let's give you an idea. Not many parts at all. These look like the side pieces, Well, I don't know, there's 4 of them, so they all can't be the side pieces. I imagine 2 are the bottom. Just having a little gap on the bottom, I don't know. Ooh. There's another big rail with a metal pin. Don't know what that is. Oh, axle. That's the axle. I imagine these are 2 bottom. Oops. I imagine these are 2 bottom pieces, which they are not as stout as I would like. Say the tailgate's heavier duty. Yeah, it's kind of. I might get a piece of metal at work the size of the whole bottom piece. Just get them to cut it for me and just drop it in there. Alright. I thought there was going to be a lot more pieces, which. Here's the axle. It's a solid piece. Maybe it won't be too bad. The bottom piece doesn't seem as stout. So I guess he uses carter pins. You just flop it over. That's good. You can change your tire out pretty easy then. Basically got 12 pieces on the wagon. Then your 2 tires. 1, 2, and your 3 side pieces to make it taller. They're not real bad. So I'll get you set up over here. We'll try to assemble it right here. I was gonna do it inside, but the weather is nice. We hit 50. That was crazy. Because we was like 90 not too long ago. So I'll go find all the little tools, the bits, and the screws we need, and we'll find. So let me get everything set, and I'll be right back. All right, it looks like they kind of standardized the bolts. You get 2 packs all the same, and then you got your carter pins for your axle and wheels, which that's nice. At least there ain't 50 different sized bolts and stuff. 1/2 inch. I just got it on my driver, and then I'll use their wrench for the other side just to hold it and drive it down. Which all these look to be nylocks too. So that's nice. That's a 8.8 grade, which is suspicious. That's usually the more expensive, but we'll see. First 2 pieces you need is your angles and then your flat bottoms. You're going to bolt them together on the inside, and then the angles are going to go across the bottom parts to hold it. So I'll lay them out and then we'll take a look real quick. Forgive the vacuuming, the wife is cleaning. If you can hear it, I'm not sure how good the microphone is. Let's see, here is your 2 flat pieces. You flip them over, run your bolts in, and flip it back, or stand it up, because you got to put your angles on each side. Now I'll stiffen it up pretty good, except for the center. And it looks like you get to your side already. There's your back. Pretty straightforward. The bolts are all the same standard, which is nice. Looks like we have all of our pieces. So I don't see what people are having a problem. Like, I guess a hole could be misaligned. You could have a little problem with this piece. It could be bent like too wide. You might have to squeeze it together a tiny bit. And then it has angle pieces, which we got right there. So, like I said, let me get the bottom pieces down, and we'll line them up and we'll see how it looks. All right, guys, just a little note, a little thing I found. Look at the ends. These 2 are actually thicker. I'm going to put them in the middle. If you look right here, these are a lot thinner. And it's folded over right there. It's a lot thicker, which I don't know. Should we put them on the outside edge to strengthen up the outside edge, or... So, I mean, we could put the stouter ones on the outside, but I feel like I want my stouter ones in the middle to hold more weight, although it doesn't fit together real good that way. The thicker pieces in the middle, I feel like yes, because you're throwing weight in there. So that's how I'm going to do it. So if you just figure out how you want to do it, just note 2 sides are going to be thick. And the holes do line up, so I'll go ahead and throw the bolts in, and then we'll be right back. Alright, figured out what people were talking about, need to drill holes out, but you don't because it's made that way. You got your 2 angle pieces. One is your back part, like where the tailgate is, and the other one is your front, which is going to be towards your mower or whatever you're towing. So it has 2 sets of holes. This bracket has instead of having a hole down the bottom, it has one up top. You're going to slide it in, and you about bolt it up, but you're going to be minus 2 holes, but that's like how they have it designed. As you can look at the drawing pretty closely, I don't know if you can see it from here, but that's the one side that has all the holes, and if you look here, it's got a hole, then up, then down, down, up, and then down. So you got a spot design. See, it's actually even showing you down here too how they got it. I take it you don't put, when you bolt together, you don't put these bolts in yet because it's probably for that, oh, where is it at? This piece. Your little piece that locks in and holds the trailer down. So that's what that's for. So just be mindful. Don't put your bolts up here. Just do there, 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 and there. And then later on, when you do your little V-notch thing, so this must be the front and this is the back then. And then that'll be where that locks down. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tighten all this down, get these pieces on, and we'll be back if I find any other curious stuff. Alright, we are bolted together. This is the thick side bolted together. There's a tad bit of a gap in there, but since it's rounded and rounded edges, they round them when they bend it. It may be if you put the thick edges on the ends. So here we are. Here's our back side. Your dump side has all the bolts straight in a row. Your side going towards your mower is going to have like the zigzag bolt pattern with your 2 bolts left out, which you want to be careful because it does show the bolts in, but they don't go in until this side when you put that on. So now we're going to find the sides, which are pretty easy. They have this end on them, like a little stiffener, and this goes towards your back, your dump side, because this is your tailgate. Little thing slides in for your tailgate. And it just goes boop, 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 right up in there, and I'll get it bolted up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Again, you got 1, 2, 3. You got for your 4 bolts. I'm putting the nuts. See the bolt heads? I'm putting them here. Putting the nuts underneath. Same thing. I'll put the bolt heads and nuts underneath. And that's how I'm going to do that. Forgive the noise. We got a little puppy, so I'll put the sides on, and then your back piece is going to be that, or the piece towards your mower. So we'll get that on. Yeah, same way. It's got the same, but you want to put it on after your sides. Your sides are going to go on, and your sides are going to go in here. This piece is going to go on, and they'll fit on the inside of it. I'll show you as soon as I get it all bolted up. It's got a bunch more bolts, and then it's got the holes for the little extended top loop if you want to stack wood or brush. You don't want it to fall out. This one says 750 pounds, but let me get the sides on and bring it back and we'll take a look. All right, easy way I found to do it is just stand it up, just slide the pieces in. See, it goes underneath that one, over top of it. Fits in pretty decent. But standing it up will be easy. Put the 2 sides on. If I thought about it ahead of time, I would have stood it up the other direction so I could just slide the top down on top of it. But I got to bolt under it, so it'll be alright. But easy enough to bolt it up. And we'll put the other side same way. Boom, bolt it up, and I'll stand it down, flip it over. Of course, now the wind's catching up. But so far, it fits good. Now one piece was bent a little bit, but we may, like I said, we may weld a piece of angle in or something. Just be mindful it's not, you know, what is this, 12, 13 gauge steel maybe. So, but like I said, you get what you pay for, but I feel like I got a pretty decent deal on it. Alright, we got the sides are on. I tighten them down. The wrenches, they kind of suck. The ends just kind of stretch, and they're just kind of rounded. So you probably want to get your own wrench. This says 13 and 14. I do recommend that probably. Alright, now here's your front Georgia lawnmower. It's just going to set down over. It's going to go on the outside. Oh, look at that. So apparently, don't put this bolt in, because now I got to take it back out. Same thing over here. Alright, so I can take that bolt out. But then you get a bunch of bolts across the front. That's going to stiffen it up a good bit more. And here's the bottom side. Not too bad. Like I said, I'm putting all my nuts on the inside. That's what she said. Anyway, I will take them two back out. So that should be all right. Your bottom part where you have your tailgate slide, you shouldn't have to take that one out. So just be mindful when you put this side on. Don't put your bolt on up here because you're gonna bolt all of it together. Just the two top ones there. So, let me get that done. Oh yeah, here's the VEVOR. They make a ton of stuff. China, of course, but I mean, I don't know what E-warranty certified is, but okay. Some places, if you know you're missing this piece, they'll send it to you. Who knows? But they make all right stuff. It's it's around Harbor Freight or better. It just depends what you get, apparently, I guess. Although Harbor Freight may have one, I don't know. Another little thing too, like something with all these bolts. Make sure you just put all of them in hand loose. Because you tighten down this one and that one, it may have it, because they have a little bit of slop in the holes. So make sure you get all your bolts in before you tighten it down. Otherwise you will be loosening and redoing. So just a little heads up. So far it's been fitting pretty decent. This one's just a hair tight, but that's because I think we're through 3 pieces here. Yeah, we're through 3 pieces here. So not bad, not bad. So figures let you know I've run into that problem before. I've tightened, a bolt down and then all of a sudden, boom, 3 will fit and then the last one doesn't, and you got to loosen them all. So just keep an eye. Oh yeah, and another thing to note, if you are putting this together, get yourself a drill attachment, impact driver attachment, and a socket. It doesn't have to be Milwaukee, you can get a cheap one. But there is bolts. Lots and lots of bolts. If you're gonna do it by hand, this is gonna take a very long time. But all right, I got the front on, or the back, whichever you want to call it. It's kind of the front towards the tractor. So there we are. So the next thing, I may put while I got it sanding up, I may put the little dealie, which they may have to get drilled out. It may have to, unless it just has 2 bolts, or 1 bolt. Yeah, it just has 1 bolt. So I guess not. All right, so we got that on. We got this on. I don't know what that is. I can't see that. So we could be up to, yeah, it gets little reinforcement brackets at the top. Okay, see the little. Just gotta find the ones with the holes in it, and it goes over top the holes right here, so your siders will go in. So there's a bracket that's gonna go around, wrap this corner. I see these pieces, which I really don't know what they're for. That's the hard part. All right, after further review, I went and looked and zoomed in on the picture, and it will go like this. This is gonna be on your side with your gate. Which I gotta take this bolt out again. But there's also a L bracket that goes around. So this is stiffens up your back, the dump side. So yeah, goes down there. So okay, we figured that part out. I don't know why it's showing this open. Well, I guess if you look carefully, you're missing. You got all your holes in a line, and you got your 2 holes that are open. So yeah, okay. Alright, so next step, we're just going to put our little L brackets in up here while we got the sanding up. Make it easier. These little guys here. Alright, there's 4 of them. 2 of them should have holes. Yeah, see, 2 has holes. These are going to go right where your holes are there. And the other 2 with no holes are going to go on the bottom, and they're going to attach to them side pieces, the open area. So I'll get those in. I'm contemplating, while we got it sanding up, we'll throw our little thing in, so I ain't gotta keep flipping it around. That'll make it a little bit easier, maybe. And I'll probably just sand it all the way up the other way, so it's sitting on this face, and we'll do them pieces and that angle. Okay, I got the piece on. Just remember this side, and your notch is gonna face out. I got these corner pieces on. You can see how it's tad rough fit, but looks like it should fit in there. Now we're just going to flip it over. This is going to start getting a bit heavier. Not too bad. Well, it's a decent height for me to work at, so it's not too bad. It's got a little, still a little bendy. Still a little bendy. But now I'm going to put these side pieces on, which that one goes over there. And this one's going to go right here. See how it forms your square. Your notch side is going to go towards the bottom, square piece towards the top. Holes line up. I got to take this bolt out again. Put it back in, bolt it, and then run our angle pieces. Get this piece here. This will go up in there, bolt in, this piece will bolt here, and I'll stiffen it up back here. On both sides, I'll put those on, and then we'll be back. Alright, we're here to the bottom. They got it laying upside down, but I find you're going to have to reach way up underneath instead of just kind of going around the side. Put this piece in, I haven't put it on yet, but as you can see, I just curved it up and around that bolt. You don't need to take the bolt out. And then right here, there's a channel. This is where that little axle bar is going to sit. The other piece has the groove too. So you're going to end up doing the same thing. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. So there's that bolt. You're just going to kind of go up and around. It's going to go up in there together. Then these two pieces, you got all them bolts, and your bar will go through. Which I'll probably just set the bar in there before I start putting these bolts, but that's how you go. That's going to stiffen it up across the middle. Hold your bolt from the other side just around here, or if you have someone to help you, and then put your nuts on. Remember, put everything together loose, then tighten it down. Alright, so far I haven't had to drill any holes. I had to take some screws out, unfortunately. But here's what that's going to look like on your back part. Get your angle piece. Side bracket to stiffen it up, 3 bolts. So it definitely stiffened it up a bit. I'm making it heavier and heavier, so just keep an eye out. But so far I found it easy to do it standing up. Either that side or this side. And then we're going to have to put our bolts across and across. Alright, just a heads up, they do not give you extra bolts. So I used the last one right there. I've tightened the 2 down. I left this loose. The axle goes through, but that bar has a hole in it. The bar goes there, the axle goes through the hole in the bar, but I need to turn it around again. So I'm going to flip it over to do that, and I left that loose. So far I found it easier to have it standing up. It's just much easier. They're showing it laying down, but that makes it a lot harder. You just can't reach it that good. Because otherwise you have to reach all the way down and over instead of just around the side. Alright. It involves flipping it around a few times, but it's not too bad. So I'm probably gonna scratch it a little bit, but I'm not in a store, I'm not selling it. Alright. And we're getting at modifying it. Anyway, so here's the thing. You could probably put some WD-40 or something on it, but see, it fits a lot better without tightening all those down. And here's your piece. So what we'll do is we'll just pop this through. We'll bring this up and we'll lock it in place. Just be careful now, she's a little top heavy. I'll bring you over, show you. And it just slides on through. Let's take a look at the directions. There probably is no bushing or nothing. Yep, we just slide it on through. See, laying down might be a little easier, but we'll be fine. And then the tires just slide on. You got a washer and a carter pin that holds it on, and there you go. Which I don't know what keeps it from riding the tire. We'll figure that out. But all right, let's not be like John Deere. We're gonna put our valve stems on the outside, and we can actually reach it. Yeah, see, it's got to come this way here. All right, our bag of washers. which we have 4. So I'm going to imagine one goes on the inside. It's not showing it, but I'm going to say since you got 4 of these, you want one on the inside. That'll keep the bearing from rubbing on the metal. Then one out here. Then you use your cotter pin, which I imagine you're going to use these. So you can use these. This slides through the hole, and then you bend these 2 ears, which I don't have. Oh yeah, shit. I'm going to use a pair of pliers, but there we go. That was pretty easy. You just slide it through, and then you just bend one way, one the other way, and it just keeps it from wanting to walk off. And then we got our washer on the inside. It'll keep it from rubbing the bearing. So I'm going to do it on that side. Then I'm going to tighten these down after I get it equally spaced. She ain't rubbing. Alright, so we're pretty close. These pins here are for your little cider pieces. We'll get to that. I think it's an extra replacement for the one up there, but we'll check that. So I need these 2 and that for my other tire. Cider pieces should be 1, 3, so 6. Yeah, we got 6 of those. Alright. Then we'll figure out what this is. Which these are nice too, you could use for, this one might not fit because, yeah, see. But you could get some for that, it just depends. So let me get that done and I'll be right back. Alright, let's get our little side pieces on. If they fit. Alright, they fit. So far I have not had a fitment problem yet, so that's pretty good. Your little slope part goes towards your back, which I guess it's however you want it, honestly. That just kind of makes it look like a little off-road dealie. And I guess if you really wanted, you could drill through and bolt here or there, and it'll strengthen a little more, but I don't know. Then you got your pins. They go through the hole on the bottom, and they fit too, which I'll put those on after. And then here's your little tailgate. If you're going to use the tailgate, it's got like a little slide and a little slide. And your lip's going to face out, and it's just going to fit right in. Boom, there you go. Well, that's it. It is together. It looks pretty neat. It looks like you hook behind an ATV and go full wheeling. I would not recommend because it would definitely tear apart. Because your whole main support is them 2 thin metals, and then, which I don't like, is 2 bolts and all the weight on this. There's your little foot lever. You just hit your foot, and she dumps on up. That's it. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully, if you had a problem, you found a spot that I could help out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Eventually, we got some teeth we're going to weld on an auger, and we're going to modify this to be a dump. Alright, thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. And I didn't turn to the next page, but the cotter pin is for right here. There's a little pin. When your trailer's down, you can put the pin in there or lock it, just in case this bumps and it doesn't dump if you don't want it to dump. It's kind of like a little safety feature. That's what that little hole's for. So, there you go.